On the preview show, confidence personified. Jose's Chelsea on the verge of greatness. It's a white knuckle ride at the bottom, but are Ashton and Francis steering Norwich to safety? And posh frocks and top nosh for our West Brom ladies. Is the Baggies revival running out of steam?
But we start at Highbury, where on Monday night the 149th North London derby took centre stage. Arsenal knew that anything but a victory over the old enemy, Tottenham, would hand Chelsea their first title in 50 years. From the opening whistle, it was apparent that Arsenal's slick passing game was firmly in the groove. The finishing, though, left a little to be desired. Jose Antonio Reyes missing an open goal after just 48 seconds. But the Spaniard made amends 20 minutes later. A wonderful strike with his left foot, compatriot Cesc Fabregas with the sublime through ball. Moments later, Patrick Vieira went down in the box. Referee Mike Riley completely unmoved, as he was 5 minutes from half-time. Freddie Canute stopped in his tracks by Philippe Senderos. The champagne was still on ice at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal continued to dominate after the break. Edu hit the post. But as full-time approached, Spurs should have grabbed an equaliser. Robbie Keane almost heading Chelsea to the Championship. The Gunners were hanging on, and in injury time, Spurs had another vehement appeal for a penalty. Keane convinced that Ashley Cole had handled the ball. No response from Riley, and the 3 points were Arsenal's. The champions fighting to the very last, but their London rivals Chelsea remain on the brink of history.
Yes, Arsenal's victory merely delayed the inevitable and was the outcome Jose Mourinho had been hoping for. He wanted no distractions ahead of the first leg of their Champions League semi-final with Liverpool. And despite a 0-0 draw, the Portuguese remains optimistic Chelsea can complete a unique treble.
We still can do it. We have the Carling in the pocket, and we can win both competitions. I think the Champions League is more difficult to win now than the Premiership, because to win the Premiership we just need to get 2 points, or 1. But we still can do it.
Only an upset of monumental proportions can deny Chelsea the title. And John Terry at 24 is poised to become the youngest player to captain a championship-winning team since Arsenal's Tony Adams in 1989. On Sunday, Terry's peers voted him their Player of the Year.
I think everybody deserves credit tonight. It's not only me, it's the team performance, and you know the lads have been fantastic all season long. Hopefully we can continue and get the Premiership.
John Terry was one of 4 Chelsea players selected in the PFA's Team of the Season. He was joined by Frank Lampard. The special talent that is Ian Robben was another obvious choice. And so too was goalkeeper Petr Cech. 22 clean sheets in the league so far. All 4 have thrived under Mourinho, whose distinctive style has created a powerful team spirit at the club.
I'm with them. I would love to do it more because of them, more because of the club, because of Mr. Abramovich. I think the way he creates this fantastic situation for Chelsea, I think he deserves the success.
Success off as well as on the pitch is a key part of Chelsea's strategy. The club recently announced a 5-year, £50 million shirt sponsorship deal with the Korean electronics giant Samsung. By marketing the club and thereby broadening its appeal, Chelsea are convinced they'll soon be profitable and won't have to rely on the owner's billions.
We've said that Chelsea is not about a one-year success, it's about sustained success over several years, and that's how you get to be one of the very top clubs. And so everything we're doing here is about building sustained success, not just a one-off event.
Chelsea can wrap up the championship at Bolton this weekend. Sam Allardyce's team fought back to draw 2-2 at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season and are still in the hunt for that lucrative 4th place. Former Wanderers favourite Idager Johnson knows Chelsea will have their work cut out.
It's full credit to Sam Allardyce. I really enjoyed working with him when I did at the time in Bolton, and I got great respect for him. And it doesn't surprise me how well he's doing, because he'll put a squad together and they all love to work for him because he's honest, and he gets the team very motivated.
Much like Jose Mourinho, whose demand for honesty, loyalty and hard work has brought Chelsea to within touching distance of their first league title in 50 years. This is the inimitable style of a self-proclaimed egoist whose star is set to rise and rise.
I arrive here with my ego big. You know? Now it's even higher.
The 2004-05 season has proved quite an adventure for our West Bromwich Albion fans. And with games running out, we caught up with them during the week for the 6th and final time.
Well, we're here at the Hawthorns for another massive game against Blackburn Rovers.
For the added bonuses, we've got corporate hospitality. So let's see what's in store for us.
Oh, what a view! It's fantastic.
Wow, this is wonderful. I just love it.
I feel like you own it. West Bromwich Albion is mine.
If that were true, Sally's estate would include a thriving commercial sector. On match days, West Brom's 65 executive boxes open for business, offering entertainment for up to 1,300 guests. The operation is headed up by Stuart Curtis.
As a fan, I'm really concerned about what happens on the pitch, but just how much difference does it make to the club to have a hospitality package that you can offer?
It's vital to the everyday running of the club, and we have packages, from one person to match sponsorships, people in the boxes that you'll be sampling tonight, and it does bring in a lot of revenue for the football club, and it is vital, obviously, that we stay in the Premiership now. It makes the job a lot easier if you've got a Premiership football, product available. So we're fingers crossed for 3 points tonight, and hopefully we can stay in this division.
Over a 3-course meal, Di, Lucy, Sally and Hannah had the opportunity to pass judgment on Brian Robson's 5 months in charge of West Brom.
I've got to say, Brian Robson was not my first choice, but he's turned it round and they're playing such wonderful football.
It reduced me to tears at Norwich, seeing them play football, seeing West Bromwich Albion play football for the first time in my life, because I'm too young to remember the Robson days when he first started.
When he was a player.
It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you.
From one West Brom legend to another, much to Di's delight, one of her idols, Graham Williams, popped in to meet her.
So Graham, these are really good, great days. We've got really fond memories of that 68 Cup final, and I'm sure you have. What do you think about today then? Do you think we're going to survive?
Yeah, I think we'll have a good result. I'm hoping, let's put it like that, I'm hoping for a good result. I think we had the bad day in the office on Saturday. I think that was the bad day. Everything went right for Middlesbrough. They had 3 shots a goal and scored 3.
4, actually, Graham.
And I think tonight they've got it out of their system, and I think they'll go out and, with the supporters they've got here, I think they'll go out and do it.
Certainly the crowd's going to be behind them tonight.
This was West Brom's game in hand, and they needed something from it. The tension was eased in the 32nd minute. And Blackburn's reaction to Kieran Richardson's goal?
It's the second half and we're 1-0 up, which is better than being 1-0 down, because the Albion have never won a Premiership game from being behind in a match.
But it's started to pour with rain, and it might suit Blackburn, so it's getting quite tense.
Albion enjoyed more of the play at the start of the second half. But on 64 minutes, Brett Emerton struck. The home side pushed for the winner. But it wasn't to be. 1-1 the final score. Arsenal and Manchester United to come.
I really think we needed the points tonight. Southampton have got to play Norwich and Palace yet, and those three teams are going to pick up points somewhere along the line. I mean, a point's good, but we needed all three.
But we can't give up yet. Albion, if you're listening, we haven't given up. Please don't give up. Arsenal at home, 3 points.
I think these lot are being a bit pessimistic. Arsenal at home, easy 3 points for me.
And it's not beyond the realms of possibility. West Brom earned a draw at Highbury in November, and though they'd settle for that on Monday, maximum points is what they need.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching us this season. There's been a few ups and downs along the way, but remember, come on, you buggies!
Middlesbrough made the short journey to St James's Park on Wednesday and were looking to do Newcastle a favour by winning on Tyneside. Confused? Well, both clubs have submitted applications for the Intertoto Cup, but if Borough qualify for the UEFA Cup via their league position, they won't need the Intertoto. Newcastle would then enter that competition 1 round and 2 weeks later than currently planned. An important statistic for players with an eye on their holidays. After an uneventful first half in which Kieran Dyer limped off with a recurrence of his hamstring injury, Middlesbrough had 2 chances to open the scoring within 10 minutes of the restart. First Szilard Nemeth and then Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, profligate in front of goal. Needing a win to keep alive their faint hopes of guaranteed European football next season, Newcastle dominated after that. 18-year-old midfielder Charles Nzogbi are going close. With Mark Schwarzer injured, another Australian, Brad Jones, was in goal for Borough. With 15 minutes remaining, he pulled off a fine save from James Milner to keep the scores level. Then, with almost the last kick of the game, Nzogbi was presented with a golden opportunity to score his first goal for Newcastle. For the first time since 1992, the Tyne Tees derby finished goalless. 2 points dropped for the Geordies, who have another home game on Saturday against Crystal Palace.
That draw, Newcastle's 12th this season, means relegation remains a mathematical possibility for Graham Souness's side. The same is true for Birmingham, Portsmouth and Fulham, although the 3 clubs to go down still look likely to come from the bottom 4.
At the top, Everton are favourites to secure 4th, but won't have welcomed Liverpool's draw with Chelsea in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final. If the Reds go on to win that competition, Everton could find themselves in the UEFA Cup instead.
I looked up to like Les Ferdinand, as I call him, Sir Les. I used to play centre forward when I was younger. So I used to like his leap and how he like hung in the air sort of thing. He was a great role model, you know, for any youngster as well, and he still is. The best Premier League goal would be Tony Yeboah for Leeds. You know, it was a great goal, and I think it just shocked so many people that, you know, it just dropped and he just, you know, banged it with his right foot. Favourite player in the Premier League? I think it's got to be Rio Ferdinand, to be honest. You know, I've looked up to him, you know, over the years, and you know, he's an exciting player as well. You know, he likes to step out and, you know, play with the ball and things like that. So it's good to watch him. I think it'd be Peter Whittingham. You know, he plays with me at Aston Villa. You know, I've come up with him through the ranks, and you know, we stayed in hotel rooms, you know, while we were away at Villa, and you know, we get on so well. It's good banter between us, to be honest. The team I supported as well was QPR. You know, they had so many great players. You had Ray Wilkins and Celez, and they had like Nigel Quasi coming up through the ranks. You know, went on to Pompey and to Southampton, and they were a great passing style team. And I think that was good back in the day. You know, didn't get many, and they were a great side to support. I think it'd be Dubai. I've only been there twice now. I went away with the club. We went away, and I went there when I was injured as well. So both times, you know, with my fiance, we had a great time, and you know, with the club we had a great time. It's just a nice place to relax, to be honest. Toughest opponent would be Thierry Henry. He's quick, and you know, he likes to come off defenders, and he likes to stay right up against you so he can turn you. So he's got great skill, and you know, if he comes right to you, he's going to spin him behind, and he's so quick. You know, there's not many people that catch up with him. Advice I'd give to him, I think, is just to stick it out, to be honest. You get so many ups and downs, you might get an injury, or you might fall out of a manager, or you know, anything might happen to you, something might happen at home, but I think it's just to stick it out. You know, you go through the rough times and you get some brilliant times.
Liam will be hoping for a taste of the good life in London this weekend when Aston Villa take on Tottenham at White Hart Lane. Both clubs are chasing that end-of-season bargain, 7th place and UEFA Cup football next term.
Charlton manager Alan Curbishley has never beaten Sir Alex Ferguson in 11 encounters in the English Premier League. With the FA Cup final on the horizon, however, the Manchester United manager may not field his strongest lineup at the Valley on Sunday. He'll certainly be without the suspended Gary Neville, who scored his 5th and most recent league goal against Charlton in April last year. Despite their disappointing form recently, Charlton are still in the running for a UEFA Cup place. An historic first victory over Fergie's men would strengthen their hand considerably.
Robbie Savage may appear at St Andrews on Saturday, but not in a playing capacity. A verbal agreement at the time of his transfer to Blackburn prevents his inclusion at Birmingham, where his departure caused plenty of acrimony.
Whenever a club loses a player of Robbie's stature, obviously they're not going to be particularly pleased about it, but they had a good return on the investment. We paid more than they actually paid for him, and they got 2.5 years fantastic service from him as well. So I think if they look back on his time at the club, I think they'll feel that they've had a decent return on their investment.
The Welsh midfielder scored one of Birmingham's goals in the 3-3 draw between the two clubs at Ewood Park in November.
Fulham's top-flight status is not yet secure. They've won just 1 of their last 10 games. And they won't get an easy ride from Everton, already guaranteed a place in Europe. The Merseysiders are closing in on the Champions League, 20 years after missing out on the continent's Premier Club competition due to the ban imposed after Heysel.
You've got to aim as high as you possibly can. Obviously that's going to be Champions League football, but if it's not Champions League, obviously a spot in the UEFA Cup would be a fantastic achievement, considering we were written off at the beginning of the season. But I think the players, certainly with their efforts in the first half of the season, certainly deserve that.
Portsmouth were the very first visitors to the City of Manchester Stadium in the English Premier League back in August 2003. And they were all set to leave Eastlands with the 3 points until David Somé popped up with a last-minute equaliser for Kevin Keegan's men. Almost 2 years on, both clubs are under new management, and Keegan's successor, Stuart Pearce, has his players dreaming of silverware.
I didn't come to England to play for Man City, only to play football, because when I play football for myself, I want to win something, you know, a league or a cup. I think it's too late this season, but why not next year?
Middlesbrough will travel to Liverpool on Saturday, more in hope than expectation. The Teesside club hasn't won at Anfield since March 1976, when Terry Cooper and John Hickton scored in a 2-0 victory. Despite all their early season promise, Steve McLaren's team are still 2 points shy of Borough's best haul in the English Premier League. That's 52 under Brian Robson in the 99-2000 season.
10 games in 3 days to look forward to in the Barclays English Premier League. Chelsea will clinch the league if they win at Bolton. Of the bottom 4, Crystal Palace and West Bromwich Albion appear to have the toughest assignments. As for their fellow strugglers, Southampton and Norwich City, they'll come face to face at St Mary's on Saturday.
Earlier this month, after suffering a 5th straight defeat, Norwich City were being written off as a lost cause. Astonishingly, they've since taken 10 points from a possible 12. The Canaries are among the formed teams in the Barclays English Premier League, but they're still embroiled in the most intriguing and exciting relegation battle for years. Two of the driving forces behind Norwich's revival have been top scorer Damian Francis and 21-year-old striker Dean Ashton. This week, the preview show caught up with the goal-scoring duo as they took a welcome break from top-flight football to experience an adrenaline rush of a different kind on the test track of the club's main sponsor, Proton Cars. Test drivers Matt Becker and Gavin Kershaw would be putting the guys through their paces. But first, Ashton and Francis reflected on what has been a remarkable month for the Canaries.
We've hit form at the right time, I think, you know, and going into these last 3 games is very important that we do that.
But why has it taken Norwich so long to string some results together?
I don't really know why. I mean, I think it was just getting that win and then trying to build on it. But I mean, it's only been people outside of the club that haven't believed that we could get out of it. Everyone at the club and especially the players believed that we could get out of it.
Ashton has settled in well at Carrow Road following his mid-season move from Crewe. 6 goals in 13 games, including 4 in his last 4 starts, is an impressive haul for any player making the step up to the English Premier League.
To come from Crewe to a club like Norwich, it was always going to be difficult with a lot of expectation. But you know, I knew that it was good for my career, and the more I get settled in Norwich and with the players and the team, you know, the better I feel I'm doing and improving, and you know, hopefully I can continue to the end of the season.
He's a good player, top player. Scores goals, link-up plays, touch good. You know, it's a very good player. What can I say?
OK, enough about football. Let's cut to the chase. Both players handled the cars well. Ashton was in the Red Elise 111R. His teammate was behind the wheel of a 111S. The private test track at the company headquarters in Hethel, a village in the Norfolk countryside, is just a short drive from Carrow Road, especially at these speeds. Proton and Norwich City are 2 of the region's strongest and most high-profile brands. Their link-up made good business sense for both parties.
Okay guys, we're now about to do the slalom. So we're going to start from a standing start here, maximum RPM, dump the clutch.
The players did OK, but they're far better weaving through defenders than they are swerving round cones.
First time with track racing, but enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, a little bit scary through the chicanes and things like that, but you know, the acceleration on these is awesome, and you know, it grips to every corner, and you know, you feel like you're safe in it. But I don't suppose it's one of the best cars to go shopping in.
He had the faster car than me, so I'm not really totally happy. But apart from that, it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And I thought I was doing really well until I smashed into one of the cones, and then
I've done the same as well.
And then didn't feel so confident afterwards. But it'd be a great car to have at the weekend or something like that.
Going into the final 3 games, the Norwich players believe the relegation battle is between them, Crystal Palace, West Brom, and Saturday's opponents, Southampton. A Francis brace when the 2 teams met in November secured Norwich their first win of the season.
It's a massive game, it's a must-win for both sides. Obviously, they need the points, we need the points, but you know, we're up for the fight and we're looking forward to it.
I think everyone knows what an important game it is. If one of them loses, then you know, people are going to think that's it. So we'll be going out there thinking of nothing other than a win. Harry Redknapp and Jim Smith will have them right up for the game, and you know, they'll probably feel a little bit embarrassed about the Portsmouth game, so they'll want to put that right in front of their own fans.
So with the big game firmly in their sights, the guys decided it was best to take a back seat and let someone else practice the corners for a change. Until next week, from Dave Beckett and me, Ian Payne, goodbye.